Hello SLAPAFISH community, and welcome back to another Tanks Console video. So in this video, I'm going to be driving the T-62M-1. That is a Era 2 premium tank, and it's also a part of the Eastern Alliance. And according to YouTube analytics, a small percentage of people that actually watch my videos are actually not subscribed. So if you end up liking this video, please consider subscribing because it helps the channel a lot. And yeah, so now that I'm looking at this tank, and looking at the bonuses for this tank. This tank has a 65% silver bonus, a 10% XP bonus, and a 10% crew XP bonus. And the free XP bonus is actually only 4%. I say only because I believe other tanks are actually higher than that. Now, if I go to a premium tank, let's go to like a tier 8 premium tank. It's 5%. So that's a tier 8 premium tank. Let's go to the... what's another Era 2? Let's go to the Rise. It's a 4%. It's so weird because they earn less free XP. I have no idea. But anyway. So what's actually good is the T-62M-1 actually gets a 115mm gun that fires 6.32 rounds per minute that does 520 damage per shot, which that gives it a base DPM of 3,286. Accuracy is 0.31 and aim time is 2.1 seconds, which is actually pretty decent. Penetration is 427 on its standard, 440 on its premium, and 135 on its high explosive. Now your premium penetration, well, your premium damage is less. It's 20 millimeters, 20 damage. Well, you do 520 on your standard shell, 500 on your premium, and 630 on your high explosive. And I also believe that your premium shell is heat rounds. So heat rounds don't really do good against premium. Well, against space armor. Now I can say this tank has a pretty decent amount of armor, especially when you're like on your hull and somewhat on your turret, because your turret has 214 millimeters of frontal armor, 161 at the sides and 65 at the back. It may not seem like a lot, because it really isn't, but the turret also has space armor in the front, as you can see at the very front of this tank when I look back at my tank. Now the hull armor is actually pretty good. The hull armor only works when you are like far away from the tank. If you're face hugging like a tank, then they could just shoot down on your hull and pin you every single time. But if you back away and they're trying to shoot your hull armor, the hull armor comes very, very good. Probably just because of the angling of the hull armor. Closer you are to somebody, and they get to use their gun depression. Speaking of gun depression, this tank has 3 degrees. Yes, only 3 degrees, which is terrible. So yeah, the way to use the armor is just back away from the enemy. Leave like a maybe 30 to 50 meter difference. And yeah, and they'll start bouncing off you. Also, if they're above you, the armor kind of gets useless, because that cancels out the angling of the armor. So what else is about this tank? It has 505 meters of view range and 690 signal range. 690 signal range is actually pretty low, but it's true vision, so you don't really need signal range. You also have 2,700 hit points. It's a decent amount. The horsepower is 16.63 horsepower per ton, and you go 50 forward and 14 reverse. And that's about it for its stats. So, like I said, you kind of just want to use your armor by being far away from a tank. So when they shoot your whole armor, it will bounce. And so the angling of the armor will actually be useful. And even if they fired heat rounds, like heat rounds cancel out some of the angling of armor. But you have space armor on the front of your hull armor, so that makes heat shells pretty useless. And I just pop my smoke so it can not get shot there, because I like to save hit points. As you can see, like during this replay, where that 3 degrees of gun depression has made me miss some of my shots, putting like shots into the enemy. It's made me miss because 3 degrees of gun depression is really, really bad. But you can actually make it. You can make it work, but it's hard to. And I believe that's a T-62M-1. No, it's just the T-62 in front of me. Hello, Mr. T-62. I'm trying to aim for the top of this turret so I can actually pen through it. Because I should have enough penetration to pen straight through the turret. But I actually pen the frontal plate of the hull armor to pen through. Hello, Mr. T-62. I'm actually trying to track him while driving. And now I'm just going to go in for the kill since I'm by myself. Now, my thinking of this is like, okay, if I can go over here and take out that T-62, I should be able to only have to fighting one of the tanks instead of 2 at the same time. My process of thinking right here was to knock out one tank as fast as I possibly could and knock out the other tank so I can fight a 1v2. But I ended up fighting a 2v1. Both tanks a 2-shot, and that ended up me up of getting eliminated. Even though I had way more hit points than them, but I wasn't able to knock them out fast enough. Alright, so that was a defeat on Deadsfall. As you can see, we lost. We did 7,500 damage boost. That's actually pretty good. I don't remember if I'm using a silver boost, but I did make 334,000 silver in this game. So that was really nice. Alright guys, if you liked this video, remember to like, comment, subscribe, also remember SLAPAFISH, because why would you not? And peace out, see ya.